Caps lose 0-1 against the New York Islanders, and that is the first time they have been shut out this season. Which actually, 38 games with no shutout, that's really good. There are not a lot of other teams in the league, if any, that can say they haven't been shut out yet this season, so props to the Caps. Wow, what a close game. I know it doesn't look like it was a close game, and a lot of people probably don't feel like it was a close game, but I thought it was a close game because there was a lot of back and forth. Despite the Caps being outskated for a majority of the game, the ice got tilted back and forth many times this game, and the only reason that this game was as low scoring as it was is because both goaltenders were A++, 3-star, all the gold star goaltenders in this game today. Semyon Varlamov wasn't giving up anything, and Vanacek is the only reason that this game didn't end up 7-0. Give that dude top star of the game, no brainer. The only reason the Caps did not score on Varlamov in this game is because they weren't able to sustain pressure against him. They weren't able to get multiple chances against him. 29 or something like that shots, and all of them were one and done. Varlamov saw a majority of them, and the ones that he didn't see, the defense for the Islanders was there to clean it up. Islanders absolutely shut down the Caps between the dots in this game. Everything that was down low, everything that's in that quote-unquote high danger area was cleaned out almost immediately. Flip side of the ice, the Caps were giving up everything between the dots. Multiple shots on single shifts against Vanacek. Vanacek is just hung out to dry in this game. I mean, the defense did nothing to help him. Just shot after shot. The shooting gallery on the check at that point. It was very brutal to watch, and the fact that this is a 1-0 game is almost a miracle. Okay, look, they're wrapping up a 5-game road trip, and this was not an easy road trip. It is very tough on the team to go that many games, traveling around that much, but now they get to come home. But even then, even coming home for just a single game still doesn't feel like you're getting off of the road trip yet. You've traveled around for 5 games, that's what, a week and a half at that point, and then you come home for a single game, so you have to travel home, you play one game, and then literally the next day you're traveling out again to play a back-to-back away from home ice. Yes, you're home, but it doesn't feel like home, especially when there's no fans in the arena, but I'm not even gonna get into that. The Islanders are in the middle of a 6-game homestand compared to the Caps finishing up a 5-game road trip. That makes all of the difference, and the Islanders had every advantage in this game. You could tell the Caps are trying their hardest to play a sound defensive game, and at times they did very well, but like I said earlier, the ice tilted back and forth a lot, and those times where the Caps were down in the seesaw, those were really bad times. And one big reason for that, Barzal. Can anybody contain that guy? I don't think a single person on this Caps team can contain Barzal. That dude is fast, shifty, slippery. No one can stop him. And that's in part because of the defensive system that the Caps play. The Caps play a man-on-man defense, and when you get one guy in your zone just skating laps around everyone, it gets a little confusing as to who's covering who as they're interchanging and overlapping and shots are coming and people are scrambling. It's chaos out there, and the Islanders completely exploited that tonight. Just another instance of Barry Trotz out coaching the Caps after he's left. Man, that doesn't feel good. How dare you do us dirty, Barry? I mean, Peter Laviolette is not a bad coach, but it's just against teams like this, that man-on-man coverage is not working. So yeah, close game on the scoreboard that ends up not really being a close game when you look at all the details. The only goal in this game, one goal in this game, the only goal is Brock Nelson, and such a tug of war match. And then this is the type of goal that goes, I guess it was destined to be that way, but it's just after so many high quality chances and the Islanders hitting 3 or 4 posts in the game and Vanacek making ridiculous saves and Varlamov making great saves, and then this is the goal that happens, just a flutter trickler of a point shot that just hits traffic in front and then just bounces 5-hole because some extra dude is there. I guess truly the reason that this goal happens is because, in my opinion, Chara is not fast enough to keep up with Nelson at that point. So Chara is actually marking Nelson behind the net. Chara tries to send the puck around the boards and out, and it doesn't get out. It's a point shot from Panik, I believe. He's the one that cuts off the wraparound, and it's just the lightest point shot you ever seen, but it hits traffic in front. It actually, I guess technically hits Bailey, because if you look at the stat sheet, he actually gets the primary assist on this. So it hits Bailey, it hits traffic in front, and then after Chara has rung the puck around the boards, he can't keep up with Nelson, who hooks around, goes to the crease, as you should, and he's right there, wide open, puck comes right to him. He's able to slide it 5-hole on Vanacek, and the Islanders take a 1-0 lead late in the game. There's only about 7 minutes left, I think, at that point. Oh, but the Caps got close. They got really close to tying it. Kuznetsov has some pressure in the zone, and he's walking up to the net, and he's like, well, no one's gonna mark me, so I'm gonna walk up some more, and tries to rip it short side, top corner, and it pretty much sits on top of Varlamov's shoulder. I'm thinking it's gonna sit there and fall down his back, but it doesn't. It sits there, kind of hits the post and falls out. That's the closest chance that they had after the Nelson goal to tie up the game. It's not enough. The buzzer sounds and the Caps are shut out for the first time this season, 1-0. Okay, so where do we go from here? The Caps are wrapping up a road trip. They're coming home for one against Boston, and then they go straight to Buffalo the next day. So what do we do from now on? My vote? You sit Vrana again, and you give Panik that jersey back. Vrana, there needs to be more focus on defense with this team right now, and Vrana is he's too much of a wild card. He's too much of an X factor. We don't know exactly how he's going to play day to day. He's not scoring goals. He's not playing great two-way hockey. He's not back checking very well. I don't think it fits the system right now. Richard Panik is a much more safe bet. And when Richard Panik was in the lineup in the 2 games against the Devils, the Caps won those 2 games. And when Vrana was in the lineup against the Islanders 2 games, the Caps lost. So I don't want to just jump to conclusions and say Vrana's the only reason that the Caps lost the 2 games against the Islanders, but I think it's a big reason. And you gotta go to the defense. You gotta make some changes in the defense. We've had the same 3 D pairings for like 2 months now, almost 2 months, no changes at all. And I think Chara might need a little bit of a break. I think he's looking much more slow than he normally is. And I think Dylan needs to be swapped out. I would love to see Siegenthaler or Trevor Van Riemsdyk come in and take his spot. I don't think shooting right or shooting left matches up when you swap those out, but I'm sure Peter Laviolette can move those around. If anything, you can bring TVR in to take Dylan's spot. He shoots right as well, and Dylan shoots left, so you could move Carlson over to the left side since he is a little bit better of a defender, and he's more apt to play his offside, and then you can move TVR in there with him. And I think, I don't know. I don't know. There's so many things that could happen, and just something else needs to change. But one thing I do know of is give Richard Panik the jersey and go back to playing the sound defensive game that we saw briefly there in this road trip. And the last main takeaway, would you have it, from this game that I have is the fact that we didn't see or hear much from the big gunners in this game. I heard Connor Sheary's name called out a lot because he did a lot. I heard Daniel Sprong's name called out a lot because he did a lot. I heard Nick Dow's name called out a lot. I heard Nick Jensen's name called out a lot. I heard all these lower D pairing and lower 6 forward names called out a lot, but the big guys, Ovechkin and Backstrom and Carlson and Oshie and Wilson, these guys, they just didn't seem to be playing their normal rock'em sock'em heavy hitting hard shooting game that they normally do. And when those guys aren't on point, when those guys aren't playing at their top compete level, it seems to bring the rest of the team down as well. Tommy, where you been, man? Like, no hits in that game. Like, you need to be playing your physical game. I know that there's a fine line with the NHL right now, and any day you could be suspended for God knows what, for God knows how long. But like, when you're not hitting, we're not playing. Same thing goes for Ovechkin. When he's not throwing his weight around, jumping into that crease battle, and just ripping pucks on net as much as he can, we don't win hockey games. So for the next 2 games, I want to see the big gunners step up big. And if the Caps do all that, they're gonna win hockey games. I mean, that's easy for me to say, looking from outside in and just seeing everything on paper, but it really feels like just a little bit of tweaking needs to be done. I feel like PL has been kind of riding this team for a while, and I feel like the ride has slowly started to go down. I mean, it's not a straight line like that. It's kind of a, little wobbly line, up and down, but the normal trend of it, the general trend, has been downwards. And in order to make that shift to start going back up again, I think small changes need to be made, and I really, really, really want to see TVR or Siegenthaler get into this lineup. But what do I know? I'm just a fan. Hey, if you like this video, smash that thumbs up button for me. It goes a long way towards helping the channel. And if you enjoyed your time here, consider subscribing to the channel. I'd love to see you come back. And as always, let's go Caps!